Welcome back to Super Metroid. Last time we finished up our work here in Lower Norfair, taking out Crockmire, getting the grappling beam, and letting us finally advance across the moat that we saw back up top. We've also explored pretty much everything we can and collected pretty much everything we can. So aside from the trip back up, this shouldn't be a terribly... Ah, heck. I forgot how horrible this was. Why did I do this? Okay. So aside from the trip back up, this should be a relatively uneventful trip. We've been abusing a couple tricks here and there, a couple tips here and there, all to get us as much as we can and to be in the best state that we can be in. Which is admittedly a much better state than we're kind of supposed to be in right now. But that's fine. In fact, we're almost there already. We have this horrible room here, which we have to go through for a third time. I kind of like going through here once, if at all possible, and never again. But I mean, you do what you gotta do, I guess. Come on, just let me up. I don't want to be here. So for the record, in a casual playthrough, we would have gotten the grappling beam. This would have allowed us to get the X-ray scope and wave beam. So in that vein, we're actually pretty much just as well off as we would otherwise be. So really, the only thing we're missing out on... Nope. I jumped too far over. There we go. So the only thing we're missing out on are no longer major power-ups, or the only thing we have are no longer major power-ups, but minor ones. There's an item down here, by the way. A little unpleasant to go underwater, but this is a brand new area that we've just walked out to. And some missiles, some super missiles, maybe some power bombs, and of note, 4 energy tanks we should not have. But let's take a brief moment to, instead of doing what I was doing, kind of blitzing through collecting items and playing the game very quickly, let's take that moment to slow down. So this is a new space we're appearing in. So we're seeing water, we're seeing the wreckage, and of course we're seeing these that we can use to get across. There are a few ways to get across this room. If you have the grappling beam, of course you can do this. You can, if you are genuinely so inclined, do a short speed boost right here at the start. And shine spark across this entire pit. Or, if you don't have the speed booster or the grappling beam, and you turn off high jump boots, too low. You can jump and wall jump up the other side of all of these ledges, just making your way across this way. Oh, okay, so you didn't need to wall jump the first one, but I did need to wall jump the second one. Anyway, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Yeah. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. It's shockingly precise to do. So instead... let's see where we go. So we're approaching something the menu calls, or the map calls, wrecked ship. Sure is a wrecked ship. Between the creepy music, the parasites everywhere. We're right back to not feeling especially powerful again. And the ghosts. And I've mentioned this already, but this is what Super Metroid does. It's not about making... It's not about fear. It's not making you scared. It's about making you uncomfortable. Like, you don't feel like this super-powered adventurer just plowing through, this super-powered hero just plowing through everything. You're apprehensive, you're uncertain about what's going on or where you are or what everything even is. And that's why I mentioned the word dread before, which I did not actually use with the intent of relating it to the new game. But instead, honestly, I just saw somebody else use it. You can't even save. There's no power in this entire facility. And that just adds to it, though. Because right now, if you die or something, and believe me, as a child, I died a lot in here. You were back to your ship, pretty much. So there are a couple secrets through here. The first one is right here. You have the X-ray scope right now, and though this doesn't really stand out a bunch, you can stand on these spikes, by the way. That changes later. But right now is the safest time to collect this missile expansion. So, this expansion, missile expansion, was reasonably well hidden as well. I don't remember if this room shows up on a map later. But nothing but gray doors, power is out everywhere. Ooh, and down here it's even a little darker, so you can see your visor glowing a little again. Going all the way across, we find a map we cannot use. And another door, which we've only seen a door like this so far before Kraid's room. So we know something nasty is on the other side. Phantoon, the ghost of the ship. So this fight, you're supposed to have only 5 energy tanks for this fight. And if you're not careful, he can hurt a lot. Especially if you take the guide's advice. The guide says shoot 5 super missiles into him, and that will kill him. Do not shoot 5 super missiles at him. Do not shoot super missiles at him. At all. So he has this transparent phase, or this invisible phase. You can jump up to dodge when he potentially is going to put a fireball on your face. You can also farm some life off of these if you feel like you're getting hit a little much. Ooh, good hits that time. So I'll show it off. But there's an attack that he does that he only does if you hit him with a super missile. It's true, 5 super missiles will kill him. Do this again. Yeah, you can't even pseudo-screw attack through this. This is just pain, is what this is. You can get over it by doing this. If you're, like, real precise. But it just wastes time and pretty much guarantees you get hit. So instead, just use regular missiles. You won't do that attack, and you can just farm life as you need to. You'll still take some damage, but it shouldn't be too terrible. If you want to, and the power comes back on. If you want to, count your missiles. Remember, 1 missile is the equivalent damage of 5, or 1 super missile is the equivalent damage of 5 missiles. 1 missile does 100 damage, a super missile does 500, pretty sure. It takes 5 super missiles to kill him, that's 20 missiles. However, if what you're worried about is him doing his stupid attack, he only does that if he's alive. So you can, if you want to count your missiles, do 20 missiles worth of damage. Count 20 missiles, and then finish with a super missile. That'll save you some rotations here and there. So, a little bit of lore on Phantoon. The lore for Phantoon actually changes depending on where you're looking. So it's hard to say exactly what he is. He is a... In some places, I've heard it said that he is the collection of the dead spirits and the dead malice that appears here in the wrecked ship. So is effectively the culmination of all of the dead that were here. I've also heard tale that he is simply an entity attracted to malice, feeds off of it, or feeds off of energy in a non-direct way. And I've even heard that he was traveling with the wrecked ship before it crashed, and may have even been the cause of the crash. And the reason he stays here now is to continue feeding off of the energy within wrecked ship, which is apparently still powered and functional. Which is a little crazy. These things shoot, by the way, which I think is a little weird. So, we have that. There is also some connection between Phantoon and Mother Brain. It may be that Phantoon is feeding off of Mother Brain's malicious intent, or connected to it in some way. And in that vein, Mother Brain is kind of indirectly controlling Phantoon. I don't believe much anybody believes that Phantoon is actually directly subservient to Mother Brain. You did see Phantoon come back in Other M in a much larger, more intimidating way. And it's thought that that was because there was simply so much more malice and energy available for it there than here. But nobody really knows for sure. And once again, the lore of Metroid as a whole is all over the place, and they will retcon literally everything every game. So, as I've always said, take all the information in you can, and you decide for yourself what you think canon is. This ship, by the way, it's obviously a ship that crashed here on Zebus. The theory is that this is the Chozo ship. This is the ship that the Chozo took here. Which means, if Phantoon is the one responsible for crashing this ship, that means Phantoon is responsible for pretty much everything. Responsible for them crashing here, and in turn Mother Brain being built here, Samus being raised here, the Metroids being made here, everything. So, now that we have defeated Phantoon and Energy's back in the facility, all the doors work, the save station works. You can even go through here. This is a bull, by the way, and we can't kill it right now. If you really want to, you can progress through this room, but it's unpleasant. And involves slow jumping out of the water and then mid-air bomb jumping. I have done it back when I was fanatically trying to improve at this game, and since I have lost much of the minute skills that I've discovered, I'm not interested in relearning that. Oh, silly thing that you can do right here. I didn't think of until just now. I just need a door to go in to reset the room. But now that the power's back on, the lost souls are gone, and these little atom guys, whose name escapes me, are free. You saw all of them contained before. So if you want to get through this room a little faster... Ah, heck, I can't do it. Anyway, I can't quite remember exactly how to do it, but you can abuse the size of collision boxes when you're somersaulting and the like, in order to stand up and clip through this ceiling part, and then just jump directly up. It saves minimal time, really, but if you're looking for speed running, then it's just somersault and you jump up. You don't have to run the whole length of the room. Minor thing, but fun. So they don't lose their wings now. Gray door. It's fine, we'll go the other way. Oh, I remember playing, the rotation hack of Super Metroid, and this room is such an absolute nightmare to get through. Okay, so I killed all of them, and I opened that door. Since I opened the door when it was gray, it should now be its correct color if I ever return to this room, which I'm gonna do because I'm going in here. And here we find that you can shoot these guys to get them to move backwards, but you can't actually destroy them. Though it is kind of a retcon, if you look at the Metroid manga that I showed in Metroid 1 Episode 0, it does show the Chozo using these droids as effectively labor droids, tying in that these are Chozo droids, which then makes Wrecked Ship the Chozo ship. Of course, in Super Metroid, nobody actually thought that far out. The plot at the time of the Metroid series between Metroid 1, 2, and Super was almost non-existent until Fusion came out. Hey, there's a door down here. Let's go check this out. Ooh, an item, and we can... It's a reserve tank, but there's no way in there from here. Fall down here, see a couple doors. So there's a couple goodies over here. At this point, you're not really sure where to go, and I'll assume you don't have the X-ray scope, but you get down here, if you're trying to figure out where to go or what to do, you'll see a little dot, and you see all the little caves down there, so you'll probably try to go, oh, maybe there's something right here. Ooh, a super missile block. Don't actually go in there. Instead, keep looking around and you'll find this over here. Or actually, it's down here. That super missile block is kind of mean. Because, that hole there... Well, let's just work our way around. So where am I going? In a way that I don't have to just bomb every wall. Oh, do I actually have to go through there? Okay. Can't remember where it is. There we go. So yeah, be careful over here, because there is this. So you may notice, looking at the map, that we're actually over top of where we were before. And if you step through there the wrong way, you fall back down to the bottom, which means you have to go all the way around again in order to get back here. So while we're looking around, you may find this. This is actually progress. There's still a whole lot more here to look around, though, so you're going to look around at this. Find virtually nothing up top. Ah, I wanted to land on him. So this is kind of a frustrating room if you're playing it casually. Heck, dude. Okay, there we go. If you're playing it casually, because there is an item up here, and the intended way to get it is to hop on these things and make your way higher. So you just hop on him and ride back and forth and wait for the next one. The frustrating thing, as I've mentioned before, is entities are unloaded when they're too far off the screen, which means these guys aren't moving when they're not on screen. So you just have to ride one until you catch up with where the other one went off screen, which could be forever. This is one of the most frustrating time-consuming missile packs in the game to get, casually. It's not exactly a high-level trick. You're a jerk. Nope, further to the right. I can never remember exactly where this is. There we go. Please get it. Dang it. Like my controller died for a second or something. Come on! Controller? Work with me. There we go. Takes a couple of attempts. You may even have to do it once or twice to figure out where exactly to jump from, but it's the right-hand side of this block, which is right over here. That, or you can wait the very slow process for the bouncing guys to go. We're going back in, just a little cave, until we come back out again. And this thing is affectionately called the Samus Gamer. It only appears when you're inside this walkway. If you go through the top way, and we came through here the top way originally, we came down here and looked, this Gamer isn't here. But it appears here in Samus's colors. It doesn't actually use your palette, though. It is Variasuit colored. As long as you have the wave beam, you can kill it, and I think it always drops a large energy. And then this room, which terrified me as a child. Because, like, oh man, you gotta do this, and it's real awkward. Oh, and then you got the breakable ones. What if I fall into the spikes? It's fine if you fall into the spikes. Just, like, just friggin'... It's fine. You can go a lot faster if you damage boost through them, but, like, I've never been good at that. You have to jump, though, because, like, the second... Ooh, there we go. The second your invincibility wears off, you will get hit again. And it wears off a little bit faster than you'd think. Okay, so you get here, and what do you do but put an orb in the Chozo's hand? I don't think the Chozo were canonically this tall. Pretty sure they were just about as tall as a person. So these are some big statues. You saw that little room off to the right? You saw it, didn't you, when you were going down? Just a couple little things, and you see a little thing on the bottom, and that even breaks. Maybe something down here. Hey, getting the good stuff. Getting some missiles. Okay. But remember when we peeked down here from above? We saw an item. It's that corridor just above us. We saw an item, and it can only be gotten to from this little area. Like these 3 screens. Not exactly a lot of other ways to get in there, other than right where we are. So what do you do but start bombing stuff? And then start power bombing stuff. Just laying a power bomb down in the middle of a room is also a good idea. Just break anything that's potentially breakable. And through you go! So I don't think you can actually... I don't think you can spin jump past those spikes. Which is no, you can, if you space it right. It's a little weird. But it's fine. Because there's a breakable speed booster block at the top anyway. Now be careful here. Because that's Pit. And if you fall down there, you're just going to have to do this again. It's the only way back, though. And those are speed booster blocks, which makes getting back fun. It's the little things. And what, pray tell, is this? I wonder if this was the source of the artificial gravity on a spaceship. Beautiful. There's something about the way they handled the colors, I think, in Super Metroid, that made the Varia suit look good, but not as good. It still looks a little bright. It looks a little squishy, almost. The gravity suit? This is endgame crap right here. Going through this door takes you right back outside and dumps you right in the water. So if you had any hesitation about what the gravity suit does, you got it now. Come on, it's not that hard. Just jump up there. And once again, we're starting to feel just a little bit powerful. But don't let that go to your head. Because now that we have the gravity suit, we can go through here into the most painful room in the game. I used to be able to do that without getting hit. That's the room you never want to have to go through. Randomizer run or anything. Okay, so where is it? Something's breakable. It's shootable too, so it's relatively easy to find. And you could technically get here without gravity. It's a pain, but you can. But then you get on these, and then you go, oh no, I can't jump that far. But you gotta be quick, or the block will crumble. But for your troubles, you get an energy tank. Now, there was another door back here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. As we see, we're out the right-hand side of a wrecked ship and on a path that leads us down to Meridia? So the gravity suit, as the game is programmed, probably the easiest way for them to handle it, or it was probably done because this was the easiest way to handle it, was the gravity suit does everything. The Varia suit protects you against heated areas. So does the gravity suit. The Varia suit makes you take half damage. The gravity suit, you take quarter damage. Additionally, the gravity suit also lets you walk in lava without getting hurt. Not acid, but lava. So, the intention is that you're wearing both suits, so you're getting the benefit of both of them. Say, for example, both of them have damage, so with both of them on, you take quarter damage. With the additional defense, you can now move through lava. It's just, you're even stronger now. I believe that's the intention. But as far as the game is programmed, that's not how it works at all. As far as the game is programmed, the gravity suit does literally everything. I can just turn the Vari suit off at this point. It grants absolutely no bonuses, except for one very specific thing at the end of the game. No items or anything in there, it's just a maze to work your way through. And we find an elevator to Meridia. Especially with the music. A one-way path down. We can freeze these guys to get back up, though. A save point as you're heading into a new area. The music absolutely sets the mood. You don't know what you're getting into. You feel good because you just got this gravity suit. But once again, you're feeling just a little uncomfortable. Now, funny thing of note, just as a brief aside, you can enter wrecked ship from the back, from here, if you go through Meridia first before entering wrecked ship from the front. This requires doing a lot of suitless Meridia, or in a randomizer, maybe you got gravity suit somewhere else. But you can, and it's kind of funny, almost, to enter wrecked ship from the back, because if you have not beaten Phantoon, the power is off. So remember all those rooms that we didn't have access to? That from that main corridor? That was a gray door. But the rooms on the other side, the spiky pit of death, and then moving up to the giant water pit with the spikes at the bottom grappling across the top energy tank on the left-hand side. All those rooms are inaccessible if you enter wrecked ship correctly, as intended. But if you do a lot of suitless Meridia or playing randomizer and enter from the right-hand side, when power is still off, you can actually traverse those rooms. And they're a little funny. There's no water in any of them. Of course, the electricity and the sparks and things, none of those are there. No enemies spawn. Like the bull, not there. No entities spawn. Probably because you're not supposed to be there, and they didn't really account for that. But what that means is the spiky platforms that drop down, I don't remember if those are there or just deactivated. The spikes don't hurt you, though. But the large room, no water, no floating platforms that drop down, and no energy tank. The energy tank's not there. Couldn't tell you what behind-the-scenes workings makes that happen, but the energy tank isn't there. It only appears there once you turn power on direct ship. Anyway, that's it for now. Until next time, everyone, we get to enter Meridia. Probably my favorite area in this game.